Hey guys, Cameron with CBM Reviews here, and I'm continuing to watch Titans. That first episode really drew me in with the Robin and Raven dynamic, and then they introduced Starfire and how I really liked how that character was, in spite of how she looked in the trailers. And so I'm like, alright, let's watch episode 2. And oh boy, remember that disappointment that I had when I watched that first trailer? It's back. This second episode, which featured Hawk and Dove, was a huge letdown for me. Number one, there's no Starfire. Number two, they teased Beast Boy at the end of the first episode, so there's no Beast Boy. So the only dynamics we have are Hawk and Dove with Raven and Robin. This series looks like it's going to be Raven and Robin centric, which is fine. But what we got in the first episode is almost completely polar opposite of what we got in the second episode. And I can try to break it down without spoiling anything. But first and foremost, Robin still works. Okay? I'm not saying the entire show is broken, because when we're dealing with Robin and parts of Dick Grayson, it still works. We still don't know enough about Raven to know whether or not this still works or not, but she was not the issue here. I had a huge issue with this Hawk and Dove centric story. I just really have a hard time liking these characters. And yes, they have some sort of history with Robin that's supposed to be compelling, and I didn't care. I just didn't care. I found Hawk to be terrible. As far as the character, he's at least kind of realistic. I just don't like him, so that's not necessarily a dig against the show. But if you make characters that are really gritty and ugly, speaking of ugly, that suit that Hawk wears is hideous. Who approved that? You need to get fired. Anyway, the tone is dark and gritty. Nothing really pops. And so with this episode, I had a much less fun time than I did in the first episode. Hopefully, episode 3 will bring things back up. But as far as this episode goes, I did not like. They try to go into, like I said, some of the backstory with Hawk and Dove and what they're trying to go through now to try to make things work. Just really wasn't having a good time of it all. I wasn't. We're introduced to some new villains. I am not the biggest Teen Titans fan, so I don't know who these guys are. And the way that they're introduced, I really, it's not fascinating to me. I don't like it. I don't want to get to know it any better. So, whereas the first episode just was like, wow, this is great. The second episode brought it way back down. So hopefully, this is the lowest point of the series, and it gets better from here, because if they're going to be like this, I'm going to be done. I'm going to be the hater again. So that's my non-spoiler review of the second episode of Titans. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode in the comment section down below. You enjoyed this video? Hit the like button, and if you're new here, subscribe. Share this video with all your friends, and as always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.
Become.
Sometimes, when I feel the darkness, it feels good.